Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. I'm host Richie, and today we'll be talking about ADCs, or as most of you guys call them, Marksmans. TLDR, this video will go in-depth on Marksman items. If you don't watch the full thing, that's perfectly fine. I'll basically explain the DPS numbers of many items, and why I believe Berserkers should be the standard for most Marksmans. In this game, there are multiple types of Marksmans, which puts them in a really weird state at the moment. Many high damage Marksmen tend to outperform heavy attack speed Marksmans. A good example would be 1-1. The champion can pump out tons of DPS, but the damage per auto is hard outshined by something like Clint, who can deal 1.7 thousand damage in a single round. However, even with this discrepancy in the meta, it was seen that many people actually opt for early attack speed as a standard. As in many high damage champions, they also take endless battle before any other item. This standard makes some really interesting early games, where trades can take a little bit longer, giving opportunity for counterplay and making many of these marksmen susceptible to assassins. The point of this video is to explain why I believe Berserkers to be a better alternative for these types of marksmen. I will show later in the video the reasoning and even the math for such. I will also show why rushing Berserkers may not always be the best option, but it's definitely a very consistent one. As many of you know, Berserker's Fury grants the wielder 65 attack, 25% crit chance, as well as a unique passive, which grants 40% crit damage. Berserker's second passive increases one's physical attack by 5% on crit. This item should be a core item for many crit marksmen, and even in some cases, even burst ones such as Clint, due to his ability to increase one's DPS by 40% on crit hits. It also provides a lot of AD along with 25% crit chance, giving one of the highest gold efficiencies in the game. Not only is this item very gold efficient, it provides a lot more DPS early, despite its passives than any other game. Don't take my word for it, take the math. We can use Leslie for an example. We'll not use any of Leslie's skills in the example, as this amplifies Berserker's Fury damage by a factor that is too high for comparison. As such, we'll be sticking with base stats. Here are the numbers on screen. As you can see, despite lacking the Berserker Fury, the damage numbers are very close. In fact, it shows the DPS numbers are actually favorable for DPS in a sustained fight versus the 2 attack speed items, which is really counterintuitive. Now imagine those numbers if both Berserker's Fury passive and Leslie's abilities were in play. Now yes, Leslie's not the best example, because she's one of those high damage marksmen, but she has the highest physical damage, making more favorable for attack speed, hence why she was chosen as the target. This is not to say that Berserker is always the best first item option, but it's definitely better than having Windtalker plus any item first, unless you cannot enter a fight at all. In which case, Windtalker can outshine Berserkers, assuming you don't have any crit chance, and you have no attack enhancing abilities like Clint and Leslie passives. A good example would be Mia, who loves Windtalker passive because of his synergy with her first ability. Now another trend I would like to point out is endless battle on champions like Clint, and even in some games Leslie. I understand the point of endless as it gives a lot of stats, and its passive is really appealing to champions like Clint, who relies on abilities to pump out DPS. However, the passive on endless actually comes out less when Clint's passive, which boosts his auto attack damage by 120%, along with Berserker's passive and crit chance, is taken into account. Because of Clint's passive, which boosts his attack by 120%, when he crits, it actually deals a lot more damage, and taking in Berserker's passive, which is 40% more, on top of that, it can deal a lot more damage than Endless possibly ever could. Now the whole point of the video isn't to say which items are better and why. I want players to be able to distinguish which items are good in what situations, instead of just picking up what the meta build is. I'll actually show in a future video why some meta builds are not good mathematically or systematically, and why it makes less sense than other builds. So stay tuned and subscribe if you enjoyed it.